No, it's a mind fuck.
A terrified family was driven out of their home by poltergeist after their pet dog started levitating.
Why did you leave it for the last one? Because I love you.
It's nighttime and I have to go home now.
Are you driving alone?
What if we see our dogs
They're
levitating?
just levitating on the living room. Imagine Brinky running towards you.
Are you driving alone?
I was told that if you didn't believe in ghosts and you went to a funeral, when you enter in your house, you're actually bringing that ghost. Like a ghost will actually latch onto you and you bring it into the house.
So you're supposed to believe it? I ain't falling for that trick. I don't believe it.
Stupid.
That happened to my friend who was Japanese, and so everybody in her family believes in ghosts except for her dad, and her dad went to a funeral, but he didn't tell anybody in the family, and so before he could even enter in the house, they had to salt him, right? But because he said nothing about him going to a
Get that
funeral,
fucking salt away from me.
because nobody knew he went to a funeral, like he just walked into the house and he actually brought a ghost in, and so they just started playing with the Xbox, turning it on and off, and then
You know some weird ass people.
they're very unique.
A family is having a hard time finding a nanny for their haunted house.
Ooh, not worth it. Not worth it. Fuck that. I'll be homeless with no food in my belly.
Do you believe in haunted things?
I don't disbelieve.
Well, this is what they're saying. The reasons are strange noises, broken glass, and furniture moving.
Are there kids?
I know. Sounds like kids to me.
It's a family of 4, so we have 2 kids.
Yeah.
How old are they? Yeah.
Sounds like a bunch of kids to me.
Ages 5 and 7.
Yeah, I beat their ass. They're fucking pranking her.
Yeah,
Really?
for sure.
They're like Dennis the Menaces.
I'll be a nanny.
Yeah?
Watch the ghost go away. Fucking beat those kids every day. You fucking try to fuck with me, motherfucker.
Like Nanny McPhee and shit?
Or is their house near a park?
I'm not sure.
What does that have to do with anything?
Hey, no.
You gotta explain that to me real quick. I can't connect that shit.
You just lost all of us. What does that
Oh
mean?
my gosh. Okay, so based on 2 people that I know, because they actually have encounters with spirits, and
You know the weirdest motherfuckers.
well, see,
You have to, this has to be said. So after she says
has
I
to be
know,
said.
she has to say, you know the weirdest.
Tell us about the 2 people that represent the entire world that live next to parks. Go.
no. So one of them lived next to a park, but then the other one can actually physically see these spirits, and it seems like a lot of spirits do collect at the park, especially at nighttime. I don't remember exactly what the reason is, but apparently there's a lot of kids that are playing around in that park area, especially at night. They all come together.
You know what the funniest thing about the story is the fact that you expected us to know this. You're like, is this at a park? Bitch, the next thought wasn't the next thought wasn't that there were dead spirits around it. That's why we're laughing. I'm like,
because I thought it was is it next to a park because there's noise.
yeah. Or I was thinking they're playing baseball there a lot.
that makes more
It's is it next to a park? Why? Dead spirits are there all the time.
Because my mom lives near a junior high or something, and then there's always kids playing. And
Dude, we live next to a fucking cemetery and there's no shit happening. And I bet they all kick it there.
I lived next to a cemetery for a long time, but I was protected because Bart's grandpa and stuff is there.
A 25-year-old woman survived on berries, wild mushrooms, and muddy water after being lost in the woods for a month.
What were we about to say?
A whole month?
For a whole month.
Berries, mushrooms, and muddy water?
Yeah. That sounds like a dope blues band.
Damn.
How did she know which mushrooms to eat? Because I think it would kill me. And berries? I'd be scared, that berry looks dangerous. That looks, ow, give me a rat.
I don't think she had a choice.
So we haven't heard from her since, and so she was missing for an entire month until there's this woman named Judy. She was driving along the highway, and then that's when she saw something moving in a bush. So she pulled over thinking it was a deer, and she went over.
Herself.
Huh?
It was Lisa fingerbanging herself in the bush.
With mushrooms
Why are you
and
always
dirty
so
and muddy
dirty?
water.
Well, the bush was shaking, you
He
said.
doesn't get laid very much.
Who would stop for a shaking bush?
Yeah, I know.
What the fuck?
That's what I'm saying.
Do you guys stop when you see cars pulled over to the side?
No.
I just say, oh, I hope someone helps them.
Yeah.
I'm from LA.
I think if I was a
That should
man,
answer it all. We're from LA. There's a burning car and someone's yelling help. Someone will help you. There's 10 million people in the city.
Motherfucker, I just drive by the car.
I did know one person who would like pull over for like anyone, even like no matter
you
what
hang out
time.
with, Julia, the people you
I don't know. I worry for her because like she's like the sweetest person, and when she sees
See,
someone
I
in
know
need,
people like that exist. There's so many people in the city. That's why I'm like,
Oh.
I
They'll
could
take
be
care of them.
Julia's friend.
stranger danger, man.
Yep, Julia's friend will get raped on my behalf.
What?
What?
Raped on your behalf? Doesn't that mean?
Or robbed or kidnapped or whatever.
Whatever would happen
Because you know,
to
city
you.
mentality, like,
Oh, like she'll take it for the team.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyway.
Sad. We're fucked up people.
A granny gang is jailed for terrorizing their victims into paying debts.
A granny gang?
This has to be in Russia.
That was tight. That was tight. How'd y'all do that?
Because the gangsterist grandmas come from Russia.
That's true.
Second would be China. just
Are
'cause they're
they
shitty.
right?
No. They're wrong. Because there were over like 30 gang members of these older ladies. But one of them, when she was being interviewed, she was like, well, I had nothing to do, and so I thought it would be kind of fun.
See, I told you.
I was bored my life.
Not only that, but this is a key point, that they paid them 200 yuan a day, which is about $30 a day, and that they gave them free meals. So she was like, I'm in.
That is so sad.
A little bit.
They're kind of exploiting them a little bit.
They just needed money.
And food.
Yeah.
And they were bored.
Yeah, they were bored.
It's like all I'm doing is playing mahjong and ballroom dancing. I need some excitement. Like these are the extreme sports grandmas. Like when in their earlier years they were doing nunchucks, they were doing kung fu competitions. They had a lot of energy. Now they're old. They don't have that same type of excitement. You know, they can't ride horses like they used to. So now they gotta
Spit in people's faces.
get into a gang.
And all their friends are dead, so yeah, the gang makes
That
sense.
goes to show you always need to keep people busy or else they're gonna join a gang.
Yeah, the youth and the elderly.
Yeah, I want to see what they look like.
I don't have photos.
I picture
Like an eye patch and shit.
I picture them like Axe Gang from like Kung Fu Hustle, you know?
One of the grandmas got like a scar on her face.
Oh shit.
Dude, that'd be so cool.
Oh, that remind me. Oh no, okay. Well,
Are you a monkey?
No. No, because it just. Okay, so this grandma that I'm gonna tell you about, she doesn't have a scar, but I was told. So my friend, she went.
Breathe, Julia. Breathe. Pause.
So my friend, she went over to Korea, and she was actually meeting up a friend of hers over there, and so she was waiting at this train station, and there was this ajumma that she was saying that, like, describing that she was probably in her 60s or 70s, right? And she was like, there's like this small ajumma was carrying like a whole bunch of grocery bags, right? And she seemed really lost, and so she came up to my friend and she was like, oh, hey, do you know where, like, how do I get to this city? And then she was just like, oh, I don't know, I'm new here, but let me go ahead and check a map and then maybe I can tell you. And then so she figures out where the city is, and then she's like, okay, grandma, you just need to go down on this train down this way, right? And then the grandma was like, oh, thank you. Is it okay if you accompany me to the city, because, like, you know, I'm supposed to be visiting my grandson or something like that.
Fuck
She's a
that.
halmani. She's not an ajumma. She's a halmani.
Oh, Haimani. Yeah.
Fuck that. It's trying to shyster.
Ajumma's like a married
It's
old.
like
Yeah.
it's like auntie.
Yeah.
And then halmani is
Lead her
a
into
grandma.
an alleyway to get jumped.
So then, like, so she's like, okay, yeah, sure, right? So she accompanies her to whatever city she needs to be at, right?
Big mistake.
And then she was like, okay, here's your groceries. Like, go ahead and meet your grandson. She's like, oh, the building's a little bit far. I'm not exactly like I need your help, right? And so she was like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, grandma. And so she goes up to this really shady ass building, and then she was like, okay, here's your groceries, grandma. I'm gonna go meet up with my friend now. And then she was like, oh, but like there's so many stairs. I need your help to like bring them up, right? And so she felt so bad. So she actually went up. She went up, and then she.
This is your friend.
Yeah, this is my friend.
Is this
Julia,
your
you need
friend?
new
Or is this you? Is this you or is your friend?
I know. I was about to ask, I'm like, was it you?
Not me. So then she was right in front of the door, right? And then the grandma was like about to open it. She's like, oh, I need you to help me bring these groceries in. And then she was like, oh no, it's okay, grandma, you can have it from here, right? I'll put them down here, right? And then the grandma just grabbed her by the arm, and she was just saying, dude, this grandma had the strongest grip ever. And she was like, no, you gotta come inside with me, right? And then at that point, her friend came through and like scared the grandma away. She's like, what the fuck are you doing? And the grandma was like, what the fuck? And they're just like, no, you're coming with me. And so she grabbed my friend, he grabbed my friend, and they like left the building. And so then like the friend was like So her friend was telling her that like, dude, you're a fucking idiot for following this grandma. Like, this is a fucking scam. Like,
Those two were with the grandma the whole time?
No. So
The friend appeared out of nowhere like a superhero?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
I know. So then the friend saw the moment she got into the train with the grandma, and he was like, "What the fuck is she doing?"
He just followed
He
behind.
just followed behind to see like how far she would
Following
go.
a distance, like he didn't go in this car, he was in this car, and every time the train would make a turn, he was like,
A movie.
I know. And like
got my eye on you.
the whole time when I heard the story, I was like, dude, your friend just watched you get scammed, like almost get scammed. I was like, oh, why didn't he come in sooner? And he was like, oh, because I just wanted to see how far she would go.
What a waste of a vacation.
I know.
If I was in another country, I'm like, fuck that. I'm only here for 5 days. I'm not gonna fucking help you with your grocery, you old ass grandma.
That's so weird. Are you sure this wasn't you, Julia?
It's not me. I never been to Korea. I would love to go, but I never been.
You know what though? There's a lot of old Chinese gangsters.
Fingers down